always be with you.
Hey everyone, this is your girl Sanaa. So I am going over my monthly financial goals recap. So I'm going to take a look at my goals and outcome, and this is for October. I'm going to be looking at my monthly financial goals for October and seeing what steps I took to accomplish these goals. And then I am going to flip the page and do sort of a recap of what worked well, things I need to focus on, things I need to change, and so forth and so forth. So for my October's goals, I wanted to do an all cash and budget spending. And when I say all cash and budgeted spending, meaning I only wanted to spend the money that I budgeted to spend. I did not want to go over budget, so that was a big thing for me. And I feel like I did go over budget a little bit. You know, I can always look at, let's see, I can always look at, this is my monthly budgeted, my monthly payday envelopes and sinking funds. So for my wallet spending, my variable spending, I stayed on target, okay? So I budgeted for these amounts, but I budgeted to contribute these amounts, which I did. Now what I spent, that's a whole nother thing. Let's see. Here's the monthly expense comparison. So I budgeted to spend $300 and I only spent $222. Definitely on target. I went over budget in dining out. I went over $32.14. I definitely stayed within budget for car maintenance, for gas. I stayed within budget. Food, I went over budget. My budget was $800. I went over $170.48. I stayed within budget. For household, I stayed within budget for miscellaneous and Sedeka. Now, the other categories I spent money during the month, I spent money in these sinking funds. And so let's see, they're all green, which means I stayed in budget, okay? So if I was to flip back to my monthly goals, I would say that I didn't do all cash spending. However, I definitely stuck to spending only the money that I budgeted for. So I feel like I was very successful for that because I didn't go over budget in a lot of categories, a lot of sinking funds and cash envelopes like I normally would. So the other thing is I'm going to just put a check mark here because I feel like I crushed that goal. So I'm going to take my marker and I'm going to check that off. Now, 10 no spend days, at least 2 a week, right? That was a goal for me for October. Let's see. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only had 7 no spend days for the month. So with something like this, and this is my monthly spend calendar where I write each day how much I spend. So I had 7. It was pretty good, but I did not meet my goal. So this was a fail. I did not meet the goal of 10 no spend days. I only had 7. Paid $3,000 in debt, and I want to say that I paid more than $3,000 in debt, and I'm just going to trying to take a look at that and see if I can see that total somewhere. So yes, I paid over $3,000 in debt. As a matter of fact, I paid $3,500 in debt. Be more educational, instructional with my content. I do feel like I did some lives. I did some YouTube. I did definitely a lot of YouTube videos, and I tried to be more instructional and educational within those videos and anything that I posted. So for me, I feel like it was way more, I feel like I did accomplish this goal, and it was important because I want to make sure everyone, first and foremost, understands what budgeting is. Budgeting is just a plan for your money, and I want to make sure that everyone knows how to do it, and it's according to them and their lifestyle. Also, I want to educate people on how to use this book. This book has a lot of tools to help you, and so I want to make sure that everyone has some idea of creating a way for it to work for them. Okay, so increase income or maintain my income. I definitely did that. Okay, be grateful and patient and just be human. So I'm always going to focus on that. That's always going to be on my monthly financial goals, because although it's not a monetary goal, it is a goal that can lead to a monetary outcome. You know, who you are, how you treat people, how you make people feel. It equates to people wanting to interact with you, people wanting to do business with you. You can win a customer for life on account of how you deal with them. So, and I feel like I consciously work on that. I'm human, so yes, if you're somebody that got cussed, if you're somebody that had to get checked by me, then obviously you deserved it, period, you know? Again, that's the human part of me. So anyway, all right, so let's look at the steps I took to accomplish these goals. So carry sinking funds in wallet. I made certain envelopes for my wallet for certain sinking funds. So I did do that. Like when I went to the hairdresser, I pulled out my little selfie envelope, put it in my wallet. Say no. I felt like I said no a lot. I did not do shopping this month. If you look at my overall spend for the month of October, I spent $2,921.13. That is not bad. In September, I spent over $8,000. So I drastically reduced that, and I did say no a lot. So I feel like that step worked well. Increase revenue, cut back spending, pay more debt. Again, I feel like I did all of those things, but yeah, I'm going to check that off. That doesn't necessarily say, but increase in revenue and cut back spending, it allowed me to pay off more debt. So that is, I paid more debt. Okay. More how-tos, deeper explanation, more examples, budget live. And you guys, I did. I got a lot of feedback. People really, really loved the lives. Me going on YouTube live. I think my first live was YouTube and Instagram. So, and I plan to do that at least twice a month. And the other thing is lots of self-talk and acceptance. Woo, child. I'm going to be talking myself to death, okay? Because it's never going to end. It's never going to end. I'm not saying self-talk is all that I do, but having those conversations with yourself and being honest with yourself, you hear me say it 1,000 times, it's very important. So I'm just going to turn this over. Now, this is where we would complete this page here. So after looking at the goals and what I accomplished, what I did not accomplish, and the steps it took, I can sit back and say what went well. The first thing I noticed that what went well is wait. Y'all know I do not play about my little stickers. So with that being said, I'm going to grab, because I like to bullet point, and you guys, I made some, I made the color dots that match the whole book set. So let me do the blue. I'm going to do the blue. And let me get my tweezers out. Okay, and I don't want this video to be too long. So the first thing I could say that worked well, okay, was being more intentional with my cash spending. Intentional with cash spending. Okay. And I made a conscious effort to make sure I had the cash on me, because see, normally I don't have sinking fund on me, and that's why I wound up using my card. But I made it a point to make sure that I bring my sinking funds with me. Sometimes when I go out, like I spent money on the grandkids, I bought their sinking fund, self-care, home maintenance, things like that. I would bring the sinking fund out with me. So that was me being more intentional. And I feel like that worked well because I did not go over budget in a lot of categories. Okay, so what's the next thing that I feel like worked really well for me out of my goals is my content, okay, and being more instructional and educational in my content. So many people, I've gotten so much feedback about how helpful it was and how they're working along with me in these videos and things like that. So how would I say that? What worked well? I would say content, education. Okay. Alrighty. So I can come back to what worked well, but what should I change? So what I'm going to change going forward is I'm going to change contributing to my sinking funds because I want to focus on paying more debt. So what I should change is my focus to pay debt. Okay. And a part of that, and that's going to be in my November financial goals, is I am not going to be contributing much to my sinking funds. I am going to start making a plan to pay off a certain amount of debt within a year. So I need to focus on paying debt. What that means is any extra money I have outside of my fixed expenses will be going to debt. Okay. The other thing I should change is I need to have more no spend days. Need to have more no spend days. 10 is not a lot, literally. So, and the fact that I can't accomplish it is insane. So, focus on no spends. That's very important for me because I'm failing at that. Like, even though I did 7, it's not good enough because my goal was 10. I need to be like, oh, my goal was 10 and I did 12, you know? So that's something I should change. I'm going to take a quick look back and see. That's the only goal I didn't accomplish, you know? So let's see, my spending habits. I feel like I didn't have any sporadic spending habits. Everything was budgeted for. So I want to say that I went over in food. So food was my over budget category. Okay. $170, $171. Oh, that's another thing I should change. Meal plan. I need to plan my meals. Okay. Plan meals. Okay. Because that will definitely help. Okay. Food was over $171. I need to plan meals to save. I will save money if I plan meals, and I need to stop taking my daughter to the market with me because, woo, child. She like, y'all not spending this money, so I'm going to spend it. Okay. So my what to focus on, and this is going to be going into November, is more intentional spending. Okay. I'm going to focus on that. More intentional spending. Okay. The other thing I'm going to focus on is allocating money to debt. Okay. What else can I focus on? I already put meals here. That was a spending habit, but I do need to focus on meal prep. So that is something that going into November I need to do. So I'm going to put meal prep. So it doesn't have to be a lot of crazy goals. It doesn't have to be time consuming. You can have 2 goals, but I mean, just figure out and you know, discipline yourself, you know, pace yourself. Anything that you can do consistent is more beneficial than things that come and go and come and go. What you can do consistently, intentionally is definitely going to have more of an impact on you and how you manage your money. So that is it for the recap of my monthly financial goals. I hope this helped. Bye.